Hey, this is your wake-up call, everybody. So we have a huge call today with speaker Amoila, but let me give him a proper introduction. You guys, he came back on the Beachbody scene back in 2019 with 6 weeks of the work and then followed up with 4 weeks of the prep. He has an incredible story of adversity, a family story. You should definitely check it out. It's on BOD. It's Meet Amoila Cesar. Incredible video about his story. So I don't need to go through the whole thing, but it's worth really seeing that. It's also about him finding out what he was born to do, and becoming a sought after professional trainer for athletes and actors. And now he has, on the eve of his next program, I want him to talk about it, Beachbody super trainer Amoila Cesar. I know, right?
What's up?
What's up? I'm so excited for you. I can't believe the whole world was shooting off fireworks last night for you, you know?
Oh, yes. It was going crazy.
It was
going crazy at the house.
It was all for you, and I'm very excited. And you know what? Let's just throw out our 6:45 questions and have you talk about classical music and playing the viola.
Well, I had a prior life being a fitness expert. We could talk about the Baroque and classical songs if you like. I'm joking. Let's talk about 6:45.
Yes, please. Now, I want to ask you a question that I know you've been asked a lot, and it's just, how did this come about? What's the genesis of the program? What was your goal when you were developing this program? And I'm going to just let you go with this, and I'll come back in for another question.
Okay. So when creating this program, I wanted to cast a larger net than I casted with 6 weeks of the work. So when 6 weeks of the work came out, I believe 2019, it's a great program, but only a small amount of people were able to do the program since it was on the extreme side of fitness. So when I was coming up with this idea, Carl reached out to me. He's like, hey, I have this idea of the next program, and I think you're going to love it. And then I reversed it on him and I said, hey, I have this idea of my next program that I think you're going to love. And I told Carl, I had you in mind when I was thinking of this program because I really wanted everyone to feel like they were capable of being able to work out and just learn a little bit more about their body and get the experience of coaching with me. So I wanted to create something that was more manageable, and something that was more restorative and corrective. And this program is a great strength training program. Yes, I think the biggest things that I love about it is the strength part, but the biggest component to it is the restorative aspect. And I wanted to bridge this gap between 6:45 and 6 weeks of the work. I wanted this prequel, all these prequels to lead you up to 6 weeks of the work. And so when I created 6:45, this was more about recovery, about strength, getting in the best shape of your life, optimizing your body, learning how your body works, and to move efficiently. And that'll allow you to do all the joys and wonders that you want in your life. And that way you can complement this with whatever you do in your own life. So this is how 6:45 started. And yeah, I love it. Can't wait for you guys to try it.
I can't wait also. So now I want you to take us through a little bit of the program with the stages and the workouts. You don't have to go in depth, but just talk about it in a way that a coach can talk about it with their customers.
Okay. So this program progresses. It comes in 4 stages. So each stage, the first 3 stages are 4 weeks long, and the last stage is 1 week long. And just to give you guys an understanding of why we created it the way we did. So stage 1 is fundamental skills. We're learning, we're progressing, understanding how to do a squat, understanding how to do a deadlift. But the coaching cues are so important that I wanted you guys to master these movements. And then when we get into stage 2, we compound those movements by adding some balance work into it, proprioceptor work, and also progressing each movement that we do. And then when we get into stage 3 kind of feels like, oh, this intensity is up there. We're doing some explosive exercises. We have movements that look similar to what we do in 6 weeks of the work. And then stage 4 is your performance week. So this is like your Tough Mudder, this is your CrossFit, this is your like victory, like, all right, I've built 12 weeks and now I need to put it to the test. And that is what this last stage is all about. This is your Iron Man. Go out there and empty the tank and see what you're made of, and then reassess yourself. But in every stage, there's a built-in recovery week, which is what I call a deload week, where we basically reduce the amount of reps that we do and we decrease it into a only doing 2 sets of work instead of 3 to 4 sets of work. And then we keep the same intensity. So that way you're still getting stronger, but you're not losing all the gains that you've just created in those 3-week windows. So that's just an overview of the program. It's more progressive and it's more manageable to do opposed to 6 weeks of the work where you just jump right out the gate doing some clapping push-ups and all these other things. So it's a little different.
Yeah, insert expletives here.
Yes.
So nutrition has been talked about all the time, and we have the 2 nutrition programs, To Be Mindset and Portion Fix. So if you can talk about how nutrition plays such an important role in the results of this program, but also, I mean, the big thing right now, intermittent fasting, right? Yeah. Something you do and something we're introducing with Portion Fix. Talk about the nutrition component here, and I'll let you take it.
Okay. So the program, obviously, first off, let's talk about the overall importance of nutrition. Doesn't matter this program, your next program, the program you've done in the past, your biggest challenge will always be nutrition. And so we want to make sure that you guys are we're hitting all markets, right? So the biggest topic now is intermittent fasting. We've gotten messages so many times about, I do intermittent fasting. I'm curious about intermittent fasting. And now we actually have it. And so with Portion Fix, we're now introducing 2 of the methods, the 12-12 method and the 16-8 method. I am known for doing the 16-8 method, where you fast for 16 hours and you eat in an 8-hour window. Now that has complemented my lifestyle. And that's why I love it. I always recommend whatever nutrition that you are going to get into, it has to be sustainable, number one, and it has to be realistic. Is this realistic for me to do? And so I have been fasting for 4 years. The results that it does for me is amazing. And now I don't really do it for the aesthetics. I do it for the maintenance work for me. And so with me having a structure, it creates an easier lifestyle for me. And so I think one of the biggest misconceptions about intermittent fasting is, oh, that means I'm going to starve myself. I'm not going to be able to eat. No, that does not mean that at all. It just means that you're going to be in a window that's controlled. And that way you control any spikes that happen in your metabolism. And so those are the 2 methods that we have with the Portion Fix. But then there's To Be Mindset, where you have intuitive eating. You're not really in a window. You're not in a window at all. And you're just listening to your body. I think the biggest thing is just nutrition is key to this program. If you want to see success, you have to restore your body, restore those tissues, get those amino acids that you need to rebuild muscle tissue. But not only that, your sleep is important, your hydration is important. And we talk so much about that in the program as well, not just about fitness. I don't only talk about the health part. I talk about the wellness. We talk about anxiety. We talk about performance and how anxiety and depression can affect your performance, or even just being mad that day and you come home and that can affect your performance as well. So this program is more of about a whole wellness 360 approach, opposed to just one part of just fitness, which is only 1 hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour out of your day. It's those 23 other hours throughout the day that we have to really fight and tackle. So I've done an awesome video with Autumn about intermittent fasting where I go into detail. If you guys want to go into that, I talk about the forager, the hunter-gatherer approach, how intermittent fasting is in our DNA, who we are, because Westernization has changed so much. So before we had to hunt, and if we didn't hunt, we didn't eat. So indirectly, we were intermittent fasting. And so if the weather changed, then it freezed and froze over our food. We're out of luck. So again, it's in us innately, and it just helps you optimize. And there's so much information on it. And I gave a lot of information with Autumn about this. So go watch that. And if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Excellent. And on the eve of the coach launch today, I want to ask you, you said that this is a progressive type program that ramps up. So will beginners feel overwhelmed, and will those who are more advanced feel the challenge?
I think you will never feel overwhelmed doing this program because there's 2 modifiers. So, and regardless, even if they're wearing modifiers in this program, again, there's a whole different approach for me. I'm going to meet you wherever you are. So if you haven't worked out in years and this is your first time, we talk about how to regress all the time and going at your own pace. There are so many times in the program where I'm like, hey, if we're going a little faster, just pause. Or nowadays, TVs have these abilities to rewind slower, and you can watch things slower. You can just go at a slower pace, just watching it. So you can always pause it. I always teach you how to modify. If you're pregnant, the same thing as well. You know, I believe stage 1 and the bonus work, you can create a program out of the bonus work and stage 1. You have at least 8 weeks of training where you can do this program and you can repeat stage 1 over and over and over again and get amazing results from just stage 1 by itself. So if you're a beginner, if you're pregnant, depending on your trimester and what stage you are, I always recommend seeing your primary physician first. See your doctor first. But if you've been cleared, you're more than welcome to do this program and you will be able to. Now, if you're advanced, and I think this is so important as well, advancees, you can learn so much from this program. I know I got a lot of messages from people who love 6 weeks of the work, and they heard, hey man, I heard this is a little bit slower. Am I going to lose all the results that I've got from this program? And I'm like, no, you're actually going to get in better shape. You're going to get better results because you're working on the most basic movements that are most challenging movements, like a squat. It is one of the most basic movements, but it's one of the most challenging things to actually accomplish. And if you can squat with all the right 5 kinetic checkpoints, then you can do the basic things savagely well. And that makes any other workout that you ever tackle easier. And so I even say, if you're an advanced lifter, you still have to do your baseline workouts. And again, it's not all baseline workouts. It does progress. So it's a good balance for you to regress and to progress.
You know, Amoila, when I first heard about this program being, 13 weeks, 45-minute workouts, it reminded me of something a long time ago called P90X, which was 90 days and the workouts were long. Now, can you talk about what was the significance with 45 minutes? Because in the past few years, we've gone shorter and shorter and shorter workouts. Here you have a robust 45 minutes. Can you talk to that?
Yes. So I think number one, you got to listen to the market. Beachbody coaches and everyone, I keep my ears to the ground. So I listen, and I know that longer workouts are preferred for a certain audience, but not just with the audience wise, the adaptation. If you're looking for lasting changes or changes in our bodies, we are the adaptation machine. We have to have a certain duration for those things or repetitiveness for that to kick in. So like a longer program, a six-week program, yes, you can have changes, but you don't have those lasting changes, those long adaptation changes that we want. Now, when you go on a longer program, you're practicing better behaviors, you're practicing better movement, you're getting better efficiency. And so these things that you're building, they stick longer. And so the same thing with the duration. This is a dense program. So if we are starting with our activation, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes, we want to make sure that there's a long enough workout for you to get that strength component, and then also make sure that you cool down properly. So the longer programs are, I think, the future, because there's so much content that we have to cover, and there's so much, depending if you have imbalances, that we have to address. And shorter workouts can't really necessarily do that, or it'll take much longer. So if you have 25 minutes to work out, then a program for me will be longer than 13 weeks. I would probably push it to 50 something weeks, to achieve those goals. So Again, it's all about, how we train now. I'm more of a personal trainer. This is my first time ever. The past 2 years, I've never done group instructor workouts like this. So for me, I come from the performance background. So we usually are in the gym 75 to 90 minutes, always, most likely. So this is just closer and closer to what it feels like to be training one-on-one.
Awesome. So the power loops, can you talk about the resistance level on those?
Yes. So it comes in two resistance. The gray is a lighter one, and the black one is a heavier resistance. The black one is a heavier resistance. Now, I love these power loops because they're cloth material. I don't know about you guys, but the last power loops, I'm gonna throw shade, Beachbody, they sucked, right? They get tangled up in your leg hair. They were hard to put on. They get disgusting when they're sweaty. They get dirty. They nick and they tear. With these, they are quality. I mean, they even have stickies on the back of it, so they can stay in place. Also, it's just a little bit bigger, so everyone can use it. You can do and use these bands in multiple different ways. You don't have to just use them around your knees or around your ankles. We can use these as power bands as well, doing different exercises, and you can use these doing push-ups, which I'll show you in 645 how we get people into a plank, being able to do push-ups using the band. So I love these bands because they're easier to put on, they're quality, and they're more durable.
Okay, note to self, our bands suck. Okay, another question for you is your test group. So you were building this during the test group, or it was already developed? Like, I'm asking about feedback. Like, were you getting feedback from the test group on how this program was working?
So I built this program last summer, and I already knew exactly what I wanted. I was like, yeah, Carl, you don't know what I'm doing, but this is going to be the program of the decade. So I started it last summer. And then, we go through transition periods of trying to figure out, with marketing and teams and like, how are we going to get started? So then we started the test group in January, I believe. And throughout the test groups, I had 2 test groups that allows me to modify it. So I use the feedback from the test groups, and I'm like, okay, we had a population or a group of people here that had struggling issues here. And we just use this to not change everything. Obviously, I want to keep the integrity of what I built, but I also want to make sure that I'm listening and I'm hearing concerns. Maybe it was a half kneel position that was bothering people. And so just started making adjustments from there. The test group really helped shape this program a lot because you get to know what works and what doesn't work. Everything looks good on paper, right? Until you actually do it. And so the test group really helps with flow. The test group helps with just making sure that the information that I'm trying to relay doesn't get lost in translation, and that they understand exactly why they're doing the program. And the results from the test group, the feedback from the test group is amazing. We have people losing 30 pounds in a month. And it's not about the weight, but just the mobility that they've gained, the confidence that they've gained, the control in their life that they've gained. And I love hearing that because it lets me know that this is a product that works. And it's not just one person, it's not 10 people, or a lot of people in the program that saw an amazing change in their body.
So some people use curse words when they are working out, and our coach network is really divided on yes curse words, no curse words. I just want to know, what is the best way to motivate people to complete a program?
I think the best way is to listen. I think the biggest thing, cursing, yes, I know some of you guys love it, some of you guys don't. I think if you can get the emotion out of someone, if you can get that conviction out of them, and one of the best ways for me is I feel like I have to go through it with you. Everything that I'm talking about, these are failures that I've had in my life. So when I try to motivate, I'm actually motivating from failures in my life, and it just comes out as like I'm motivating you guys just to be pushed or just saying words. I don't just say words. I say what I feel and how and what the things that I've been through in my life. And so to motivate people, it comes from experience. But I think the biggest thing is just listening and understanding where your pain and your struggle come from. And even in the test groups, a lot of people write me and they tell me about their lives and their struggles and what they've gone through. And I hold it dear to my heart. And so when I'm creating this program, or if I'm going in this motivational rant, I think about those people who are in those dark places. And I know that if I say certain things, it can, yes, you can see yourself in that position and you can push yourself from it. So I am not cursing in 645. I think I'm doing something different, coaching you from the I understand standpoint and the educational standpoint. And all my experiences from the field. And so, I've had so many clients who've had so many challenges in their life. And I just think of you when I write these programs or when I'm going on my motivational rant.
You said it, a transformation is very emotional for people. And that connection that you make when you're helping somebody is a very emotional connection. Also, to think that you're going to make the same program you did a few years ago, you've changed. Things have changed. People change. There's growth there. So I'm excited to see what you bring to this program. So BOD groups. So we have, for the first time ever, open for coaches and customers starting July 19th, is going to be for anyone who purchases. I think Kevin said it earlier. No, he didn't. So any coach or customer who purchases a 645 challenge pack, completion pack, or pre-launch pack, you'll get an email invite from Amoila. So can you talk about how you are going to be in this BOD group with coaches and customers?
Yes. So BOD groups, guys, if you aren't aware, it's one of the newest features on our app. It's just a community of everyone just who's sweating under the sun, trying to get better. They all join a group based off a program that they love, or they just create different groups that they want to motivate. And in my BOD group, I will be leading this for 2 weeks. And honestly, I'll probably be leading it a little bit longer than 2 weeks. I'm going to just be in that group constantly. So I'll always have access to the group. But this is where you're going to get motivational tips from me, inspiration, education as well. Sometimes I like to jump in there and say, how did you like this workout? What did you notice? What did you learn from today's session? And so I'll use the BOD group to interact with you guys, to learn with you guys. But this is the closest that you guys get with us. This is like personal relationship, with Instagram and our other social medias. We have so many people who just reach out to us. But in these BOD groups, you have us for a duration of time where we get to be intimate about the program. We also get to be intimate about our goals. And this is just us building a tribe. And so I love these BOD groups because I have my BOD group, which are my trainer friends, and we all come together and we work out and we talk about our failures and our inspirations and what we want to achieve in our lives, and then where we are. And so this is us just getting stronger, better together, learning together. And guys, I encourage you to join a BOD group for any program. It doesn't have to be my program, but if you're tackling 9-week control freak or 30-day breakaway, join these BOD groups, because I promise you, number one, they're going to answer questions for you that you're probably wondering, like, did he say to do this and do that? And it's just a community that understands what you're talking about, understands what you're going through, because they're all going through it together. And so it's a great time to just join the BOD group.
Yeah, thank you. Very well said. And it's the first time ever it's for coaches and customers. So you want to get involved in that. So I want to reiterate what Kevin Shaw said earlier about the 645 commitment, which is a $45 reward for completing the program. Say, what? I've never heard of this before. We have never done this before. So again, there's so many firsts with this program, and it's very exciting to talk about. For the first time ever, Beachbody is giving a $45 reward for completing the program with Beachbody's Total Solution Fitness, Nutrition, and Support. There is an FAQ 7227, faq.beachbody.com. You want to find any FAQ here at Beachbody, faq.beachbody. No, FAQ. Oh, I don't know.
That's
I think I said it right. Okay. Last question for you, and it's a free-for-all here. And what is the most fulfilling part of your job, of what you do? Can you talk to that for us?
Yes. Seeing results and not physical. The most fulfilling thing is when my client reaches out to me and they're like, hey, you were right. I can't believe just 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day of stretching really alleviated these issues that I was having. And I just think that seeing, results and getting their feedback from people who are doing things that they didn't think they were able to do or ever capable of doing is the greatest feedback that I can ever get. And just helping people. My job as a trainer is to service. So I want to make sure that I'm servicing and I'm servicing well, and that the things that I do teach are landing and you guys are practicing it and you're seeing results. And that reward for you is a reward for me. And that is one of the biggest things that I love in just sharing this gift.
You're awesome. It is such a pleasure seeing you today. I'm very, very excited for you, Amoila. Thank you for doing this interview. You've got a big day ahead, I'm sure, even more interviews. So thank you for coming. I want to bring on Kevin Shaw. He's got some 5 minutes of training for us on bod groups, which is perfect timing. And we'll stick around for this 5-minute training with Kevin Shaw.
Thank you very much, Sandy. This is great. So coaches, as you heard, 645 is going to be one amazing program. And part of that is making sure that you do have a bod group to join or to host. So I'm going to share with you quickly how you can form your own bod group. So this is such an easy thing to do. So what you guys need to do simply is to go here to Beachbodyondemand.com. This is the place where you go to do your workouts. This is where you come in to do your 645 workout starting tomorrow, as long as you purchase that. And by the way, I want to make sure, coaches, get this accessories bundle. That is something you need. You need those power loops when doing this program. I was kind of sad that when doing the sample workout, I didn't have them, but I cannot wait to do it when I get those power loops. Okay, so you come over here to Beachbodyondemand.com, come over here to bod groups. And from there, you click on Start a Group, because this is something you need to do for the 645 commitment. You get started. And so what you're going to do is select, and I just checked it this morning, it is there. The 645 theme is available for you. And I'm going to have this thing start tomorrow, yes, July 6th, and go for 13 weeks. I'm not going to count. I'm going to say 13 weeks is right around here. Okay. So, or you can have it ongoing. It doesn't matter. If you want an ongoing, you don't want a deadline, you can simply check this box, and it will be an ongoing group with no end date. This will be in English, and then I'm going to have everyone come this is people I invite with a link. This is my customers, my leads, meaning people who get sent to me, plus people who visit my coach page can find access to this bod group. The more the merrier, right? I want posts from Carl Deichler. I would love to see motivational posts from Beachbody super trainers. Although they cannot see your post, we'll just add them to your post right there. So from there, you can just say this is the 645 group. Got to be a little bit more creative than that. Nonetheless, you can upload your own image here. This is my first time ever seeing these. These are pretty awesome. I like this. We're going to get the whole flipping cast. There they are. Looks good. Okay. We click next. And if you want, this is describing you just put whatever you want in here to motivate your people, or if you want to have a little intro video, you can do that. You click next, and by this time, guys, you need to say, yes, I need you on Beachbody on Demand, because you got to access those 645 workouts, need you on Shakeology, and the Performance Line products are essential when doing 645. And that is something that hopefully you guys can require from them. You can select some testimonials up to 3. I would choose these 3. And it's ready to go. You can preview it. Looks good. Starts in 16 hours. Get your stuff ready. Or if you guys want to wait till they get their power loops, they can do this when they get you can start this when they get the power loops. That's completely fine. Or for your new coaches, you can get the challenge pack. So you can go ahead and click on Publish Group. One thing that I want to show you in addition to this, and I know this is on top of showing you the group, is we just barely went live with our challenge group guide. This is something, coaches, that if you are nervous about starting a group, if you really don't know what to do, how to host a group, who to invite, we've taken the stress and we have just washed it away. It is so easy to do this group. So first, set up your group. Set up your bod group. and get people invited, send them the link to this. Now, as far as what to post in your group, you can post whatever you want. Like, look, all they need to do is come in here and log their shake, log their workout, but they need to stay motivated. One of the things that we need constantly in our lives is to be motivated and to be dedicated. So what we have done is if you go to your back office, which is coach.teambeachbody.com, click over here on Grow My Business, Product Tools, Shareable Media. This is where we kind of put everything together for each of the workouts. Come over here to the Fitness Product Toolkits, because this is where we have all of our programs, all of our toolkits for the programs. And right here at top is the 645 product toolkit. You click on that. And from there, you will see the challenge group guide. We have put all we don't have all 13 weeks just yet, but we have the first few weeks of the 645 groups here for you. This is the challenge group guide. So you guys can, leading up, we have an entire prep week. You guys see here, all you have to do is pretty much go in here, all right, yoink, copy and paste. Okay. And that is, you can go ahead and paste this in your group. You can change it up however you like. You can pull tips from it and make it your own. You'll see here, because this is happening so fast, we have some supporting assets are coming soon. So we'll have some visuals for you. But guys, look at this. Unbelievable what we have done for you guys. We have some amazing writers that have put time into this so they can help you. And by the way, we have a US version, Canada version, and a UK version. Okay. That's what's going on, guys, with 645. That's how you do bod groups. That's how you take these bod groups and then you help people stay accountable to the things they need to be held accountable to. And guys, the 645 commitment is real. Help these people not only get their $45 back, but help them change their lives. As Amoila said, maybe the biggest joy you will get is not necessarily in seeing the before and after picture, but it will be when they come to you with tears filled in their eyes, saying thank you for helping me become a better person. Guys, that's the National Wake Up Call right now. The Take Action Challenge final winners with a mixed bike is going to be live on the champions page right about now. Head on over there, guys. We'll see you there. Have a great week. We'll see you next week on the National Wake Up Call. See ya.